Chapter 11, Section 11, Finding the Whole. You know the three numbers in a percent problem: percent, whole, and part. You can find the whole if you're given the percent and the part. For example 1, remember the whole equals the part divided by the percent. 20% of some number is 5. So step 1, change the percent to a decimal. 20% as a decimal is 0.2, or you could say 0.20. You can always add zeros to the right of a decimal. Step 2, divide the part by the percent. The part was 5, so that goes in the division box. The decimal number is now doing the dividing. And remember, when we divide by a decimal number, we're going to move the decimal all the way to the right to make it a whole number. And so we're going to make 0.20, move the decimal twice to the right. So for the 5, move the decimal twice to the right as well. And now we can divide. The whole number will be the answer to that division problem. 20% of 25 is 5. And when the percent is greater than 100%, the part will be greater than the whole. 80 is 160% of what number? So step 1, change the percent to a decimal. Drop the percent sign and move the decimal 2 places to the left. Step 2, divide the part by the percent, which was turned into a decimal. Remember to move that decimal out of the way, so 2 places to the right. So move the part's decimal 2 places to the right, and then divide. The answer to that division problem is the whole. 80 is 160% of 50. Notice that the part is 80, the whole is 50. The part is greater than the whole because our percent is more than 100. I think we'll need some room to find the whole in each problem, so I'll slide this over and we'll work with these 3, 6, or 9. We'll start with 3. All right, step 1, turn the percent into a decimal. So 5%, we're going to move the decimal 1, 2 to make it 0.05. 50 is getting divided by 0.05. We have to move the decimal 1, 2. So we move this decimal 1, 2. And now we have 2 zeros here. So how many times can our 5 go into 5,000? 1. Now the rest are zeros. So 5 goes into 0, 5 goes into 0, 5 goes into 0. So let's see. 5% of 1,000 is 50. So there we go. So we have step 1, turn the percent into a decimal. Step 2, make a division problem. Move the decimal out of the divisor and move the decimal to the right in the dividend. Finish the division problem, and that answer is the whole. For practice B, solve to find the whole in each problem. So let's try one of these as well. Let's try 18. So first step, we're going to turn that percent into a decimal. So 15%, we can write the 15 and move the decimal 2 places to the left. The part 60 goes in the division box. The 15 hundredths is doing the dividing. We need to move this decimal out of the way, so move it all the way to the right to make 15 hundredths become 15. Remember, 60 is a whole number. Its decimal is automatically to the right of the whole number, and we need to move its decimal 2 places to the right, just like we did with the divisor. Now I can add zeros. So now we're going to divide 15 into 6,000. So how many 15s will go into 60? I think maybe 4. 4 times 5 is 20. So there's 0 left, and the rest are zeros. 15 goes into 0 0 times. And there's another 0. 15 goes into 0 0 times. So now we have our whole, 400. 60 is 15% of 400. So step 1, turn the percent into a decimal. Step 2, put the part into the division box and divide by that decimal. Move the decimal out of the way, do the division, and the answer to that division problem is the whole. Everyday problem solving. A bank pays money called interest to each person with a savings account. The interest rate times the savings, called the principal, equals the interest. How much interest does Will get? There's Will. He's got a 6% interest rate, and he's got a principal of $1,000. So the interest rate times the savings is the principal. So I think we need to multiply 1,000 times 6%, I think. So we got 1,000. We're going to move the decimal. We've got a percent. So the 6% becomes 0.06, and we are multiplying times 1,000. And so we're going to get 0, 0, 0, 6. And so we've moved the decimal place essentially 2 times to the right when we multiplied by 1,000. Or rather, we've moved the decimal. Forgot about that extra 0. We moved the decimal 3 times to the right because there's 3 zeros in 1,000. So for Will, his interest is going to be $60 on that $1,000. All right, so there's more practice in your workbook for Chapter 11, Section 11. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.